What's up, everybody? Coach Roz here, aka the motivator from fitnessbusinessmastery.com. And we're here with another monthly interview series where we're going to dive deep into a FitPro's business and find out what's working, what's not working, but more importantly, what's the real deal? Like we see a lot of interviews out here and they're not real. A lot of people just talking about their highlights. Today, I have my good friend on. I'm going to give him an opportunity to tell his name and story in a little bit. But Adrian, real quickly, just let's jump right into it, because that's what I want this audience to be able to extract some nuggets from you and your experience. What has been the biggest win inside of your business in the last 12 months that you could share?
So aside from my our achieving really good results, getting good weight loss results, it is something that we had to overcome, which was this big fire that had happened. So we finally pretty much closed out the insurance on this in 2019. So there was a whole, a gym nearly burnt down, but we had the claim finally finished up in early 2019, which was a big weight off of everyone, especially myself. That we finally did it 3 years later, so it was crazy. But just today, huge wins for clients that are coming in. I just told you I was handing out $1,500 checks to my clients because I gave that as an incentive for losing a certain amount of weight and keeping it off for a year. So I was happy with that. Although it stings a little bit, I'm excited to be able to promote that and show some of the things that we're doing. So it's good. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll dive deep into that, because I think that just that alone just sounds exciting to me to see. How do you get someone to get real results, but more importantly, get those results to keep them? They're going to be happy, and you're changing lives. So in 120 seconds or less, I want you to throw out, what is your business model? What does it look like? And how have you grown it to become so successful?
120 seconds. Is the clock starting?
Go.
So ultimately, it's to build better people. Bottom line, build better people, and we do this through empowering our clients, educating our clients, encouraging them, ultimately leading to enlightenment. So I call this these 4 E's. And I'm big into teaching elements of mindset, coaching, headspace, because it's the long game, the infinite game that we're after. And then we implement nutritional coaching and fitness coaching. So we're trying to be an entire one-stop shop. And now we've got, a recovery room, physiotherapy that we're incorporating as well. So, but yeah, it ultimately comes down to just plain out building better people, and not so much about losing weight over a short period of time, but for pretty much changing people from the inside out and reshaping new identities. So, and that can go real deep. So I'm big into the headspace game and writing a book on and all that, but that's primarily what we're after, is to ultimately lead to enlightenment, which, if by definition, if you looked it up, is the resolvement of all pain. And through educating first, through empowering second, and through enlightening and enriching their lives. So that's the 4E principle that we run by here. So
awesome. I love that. And I teach a lot inside my mastermind about, the key to success is actually specializing and being able to make yourself different and in the marketplace, which that framework you just shared is really powerful, because that's what's going to allow you to stand out from a boot camp, another gym, a big box down the road. You have something that's unique and created by you and utilized by your team. Yeah. Really cool. So let's talk about you, Adrian. I want you to just kind of share with us a little bit about what got you into the fitness game, and how long have you been in? And let's tell a little bit of your backstory.
Well, yeah. So real quick, honors degree kinesiology. I went to university 7 years, Dalhousie. Combine my love of business and fitness. So it's just a game. I don't really work. I just play a game, enjoy it. Although it can become stressful at times, for sure. But love walking the talk, and doing the fitness part as well personally. But yeah, what got me into it was, and I've been going through this with the book. I'm considering calling the book Think, Eat, Move, And essentially, I got into the fitness game essentially from a very finite mindset, thinking I needed to win championships at sports and baseball and to handle bullies at school. And from there it was to get the girl as well, or to get any girl to pay any attention to me whatsoever. My nickname was Bucky, and big braces and if you looked up nerd in the dictionary, you'd see me. So, so that's what got me into it initially, and then I really didn't understand. Didn't understand any of the nutritional components or the importance of this until later on, and then only later on I got into the mindset space. But it was more just to improve myself with sports, improve confidence, and to become someone that would be attractive to women, I guess. So that was initially what got me into it. But fell in love with everything medicine, everything health. Can't absorb as much as I possibly can. But now it's all the psychology of it, the headspace of it, the mindset, the shifts, and we've been applying that kind of content to our clients the last 10 years. I've been in the game 13 years, running a business here, and never really had a massive passion to run multiple gyms or clubs, just to every person who walks through the door to create, one of the best experiences possible, to be the highlight of their day. And that's pretty much what got me into it initially. But, I really learned a lot of deep principles, lots of things that went on in my life that I could attribute to. My headspace wasn't there, I wouldn't have survived. So I really think that, I attribute a lot of that to a lot of the coaching, the mindset stuff, the mastermind groups that I've been a part of, and now just teaching my clients to use that in their own life, to manage, their nutritional cravings, the fitness, incorporating exercise into their life, because we all know what to do, right? In terms of, getting healthy, move your body more and eat better. But it's just doing what we know, right? So, and it's that stick-to-itiveness where I think the mindset is the glue that keeps it all together. So
awesome, brother. I love it. And you and I had the honor to meet each other in a mastermind a long time ago. I can't even remember, probably back in 2010, maybe, give or take.
Something like that.
And so I've gotten the opportunity to kind of build my business and watch our businesses grow together. And they're very unique, although we've never even shared the conversation, but mindset means so much to me as well. And understanding how to overcome obstacles and turn those obstacles into opportunities. And I think that when you said that, I was trying to think about what connects them. And then my clients come to us because they want fat loss, but they stay because of the experience. And you said that word, and it blew me away. And I know that you actually had a lot of success with, you could see it behind you, and you make that a principle in your business. Can you tell us a little bit about just some of the success that you've had in your growth? What does your business look like? I mean, and people want to know the goods, not like, oh, I have 5 clients. Tell us a little bit about the business and how it's working.
Well, when I first started, I think that I was so new in the business in 2007. All right. Nobody really knew what a boot camp was. I started way back with JSE, John Spencer Ellis, Venture Boot Camp, and outdoors, running boot camps, rain or shine. I was 27, had my degree, wasn't really settled down. Constantly questioning in my mind, am I crazy? What am I doing in the rain, putting cones out? And, but blew up really quickly. We started, I maxed out credit cards to get things going, and was at the verge of bankruptcy. And then we brought in 20 clients, and from there, word spread, and then all of a sudden we had almost 150, 200 clients the next month, and I had to hire other coaches, and all of a sudden become this manager who I was just trying to get ready to go into med school. My plan was to go to med school, and this was going to be a 3-month thing. And now I'm year 13. So, but just saw the impact I was having on clients and people. It was amazing. And it just kept growing from there. I got my own brick and mortar in 2009. And, in terms of growth, and at the time I saw you, or I probably met you, I was probably near the verge of bankruptcy again. So in my first mastermind, I really accredit Bedros Keuilian, with a lot of he geared me into the direction and path toward mindset, headspace with Psycho-Cybernetics, this book. And but I didn't have a whole grasp on financial management, understanding, expenses. In Canada, we got to pay so many taxes, right? And I had to go through different things. My business was garnished at one point. The government came in and took everything, so that was a scary point. But I guess if your passion is stronger than the fire, we had a fire to go through and all this kind of stuff. I learned along the way, what to do and what not to do, and now, like today, literally right before chatting with you, I'm handing out checks of $1,500, but I'm stressed, but I'm okay because I've applied these different systems. So, structure equals freedom. So our friend Craig Ballantyne says, and I think that I've applied this for the last 3-4 years, and it's really created an opportunity for me to run my business without so much pressure. And I attribute a lot of that to, there's a book called Profit First. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but I've applied that principle and stick to it. So I really run my business off of about 81% revenue. So if I can't afford it, I'm not buying it. So before, in the entrepreneurial world, we tend to make a lot of money at times, and then all of a sudden things go dry. We get this, spiral effect, and we still feel it, but this way you kind of just prepare for those by creating these other accounts, so that in times of famine, you don't go hungry.
That's great, man. That's a fantastic tip. I think everyone should definitely pick up that book. I think it's Michael Michalowicz.
Yeah.
At Profit First, and I use a lot of his theories. We talk about the 5 pillars, and finance being one of them. Most personal trainers, gym owners never think about that, and thank you for sharing that, because I can relate. Where Greg, my business partner, and I, we had about $300 in our pockets, or not even in the pocket, in the bank, but our rent was due, and we had 4 trainers and our own salaries, and we were like, what do we need to do? It's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, sitting in our office thinking, oh shit. And we had to do what a lot of business owners have to do. We had to trim the fat, and we went, thin. And we learned how to put money into a 401k, how to put money into an IRA, how to put money into an in case shit happens fund, so that when you have a lean month, you can go into that fund, pull out, never miss another payroll ever again. Yeah. Now, like yourself, by the grace of God, we were able to pull out and figure that out and never miss the payroll in our entire 13 years as a business owners.
Awesome. Yeah.
So
and we had I've had back surgery, 2010 and 2011, I think 11, 10 in there, and it was because I leaned out. I did just that. I was real tight, and I was like, that's it. Everybody's got to go. I'm going to do it all. And you may know what that's like. But I ended up probably herniating my discs because of that, because I didn't have a plan or structure in place. So, my understanding of this Profit First thing, I don't have a good grasp of it, but I went ahead and I hired an accountant from the States who's trained in it to implement everything. And now, every dollar that comes in my account, certain percentages go in different places before I even have a chance to touch it. So, there's always going to be money for expenses, for taxes. And then if there's anything left over, great. If not, at least that stuff's covered, because that's the most important. You got to keep the lights on and pay your bills and pay your staff. That's the most important. And people just don't see it on the other side. So I really attribute that. It's almost like grandma's cookie jar. It seems simple, but man, it's just not.
It definitely isn't.
Yeah.
If you had to look back at yourself, to the Adrian when you first got started, and there was one piece of advice that you could give them, because someone's watching this, listening to it, and they're new. They just got their new 5,000 square foot studio. They're about to go and rip those cards and buy all the shiny equipment and do all the things that now the 12, 13-year vets that we know we are, maybe we wouldn't do. What's one piece of advice you would give yourself?
I just gave a talk at a university to a bunch of students, and I was asked a similar question. I have the answers here, Q&A answers to that. So if you want, I can forward this to you if you like, what I sent to them. But they asked me what was one thing I wish I knew entering into the fitness industry. And I wrote down not to trust so much because I got burnt a few times. I know you've got a partner, and that's great, and it works for you, but man, like it's I've been that hard charging bull on my own, but like I've taken on people that I've really trusted tightly, tight through the process of building it up, and managers that were given way too much access to too much stuff, only to get jabbed in the back a few times. So so you'll learn as you go there. So just to create bumpers, I guess, like if you got kids and you go you're going bowling, there's a reason they put bumpers up. Otherwise, you're going to watch that bowling ball go down the gutter all the time. So I think you just need to really create some boundaries. And there's certain things that you may want to get into with staff, and then other things that are best kept to yourself. So I think the skill of hiring is really key. I went through strategic coach for 3 years with Dan Sullivan. And investing in a coach by 100%. But with Dan Sullivan, just Colby Index, all that kind of stuff. Just knowing how to sift, sort, and screen, and find the very, very best people for the position that you're looking for. Put them in their unique ability. Is really key. And I am no master at this at all. I'm still figuring this stuff out, still make massive mistakes. But I think it's the art of making decisions quickly and then not rushing into bigger decisions. I think I just read the book Simon Sinek, the Finite Game or Infinite Game. And I think a lot of us in business, we're in such a rush, like we have to beat the competition, or we have to crush all this kind of stuff, or this is the headspace. But like you and I run similar businesses, we could share information. There's no real definitive start, middle, and end point to what we do. The big thing, what Simon talks about is just the ability to stay in the game and to be able to play it well. And I think that, I really, with masterminds, we're now in an area where we can collaborate and you can share information and all succeed together, knowing that, if you have an abundant mindset, there's more than enough to go around. So I've really started shifting that focus to that, going, hey, I'm playing the long game here. I'm playing the infinite game. I'm not playing a finite game, and things don't have to be so rushed. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow or the next day, but still, structure equals freedom. So I think that you do need to structure your life pretty well to get shit done. So we can become pervasive procrastinators by creating all of these rituals and routines and things like that. And I'm definitely one of them. So I've now been structuring my life a little bit differently since working closer with Craig. He's now my current coach. So, but ever since 2010, I've been doing the mastermind game and being a client. And you can always get information. Like there's just so much out there, but you have to take action on it and surround yourself with the right people, right headspace. And so you can lean on people. Like I've got a call with 2 people coming up the next 2 days just to help me kind of redirect where I'm going. So as I make some shifts with things. So
powerful stuff. So dude, that's great stuff, man. I love it that I love when it's why I was excited to get this on with you, because like you and I've been on, we've taken similar paths. Not the same path, but our goals are, hey, we want to be successful. We want to create a lifestyle for our families. We want to be able to do things that we want to do when we want to do them. And it starts with, like you've gone back to and alluded to, mindset and investing in yourself. And the things, first, I want people who's watching this to understand that they got to do their due diligence when it comes to mentors and masterminds and stuff as well, because I've joined some groups where I thought I was going to, be in a part of that high level and be in the right group. And then I find out it's all beginners, or it's all not what I was looking for at year 12, 13. I want to be in groups. And you've invested in, you mentioned strategic coach. You've mentioned Craig Ballantyne, who I know very well as well. And you are never been afraid to invest in yourself. Where did that shift happen for you in your business? Because even when we were a part of the 100K group with Bedros Keuilian, that takes money to fly to masterminds and to pay for coaches. Where did you, what allowed you to make that shift in your information and saying, you know what, I'm going to go out and invest in my business?
Well, the one thing that I've always had since a very, very young age is that I always had the feeling like I could outwork anyone. Right. And that what's in my control, what's out of my control. So, and if I'm going to bet on anything, I'm going to bet on myself first. And by betting on myself with higher education, with surrounding myself with the right people, those are the things that I'm okay with betting on, because I know I can, even if the group, and I've been a part of those groups too, where, you know, maybe the network isn't as great, you know, maybe it's not as, you know, they're not hard charging bulls out there that, you know, we want to be surrounded with. So, and you're like, oh no, I mean, like the Twilight Zone, no. But it's like, it's really, the material is usually still pretty good, and it's what you can extract from it. And I think that you always have to go in it with an open mind with everything, and see, like, you can learn so much from everyone, because when you start getting to the point where you think that you know everything, that's a very dangerous place too. So I think humility is really important. And I think that once you become learned, you realize that, you know, no one knows everything. Everybody's trying to figure this stuff out. You know, we're all trying to do our best. And I think that you just, if you bet on yourself, I believe in betting on myself. And you know, I know that I can extract information. I can extract, you know, water from a stone if I have to. So, and if I work hard enough at it. But yeah, I think just, you know, having structure, like more structure in my life, is really opening doors now, and it's getting things done in a bigger way. And so that's some newer approaches that I've been taking. But yeah, you know, I think betting on yourself, always bet on yourself. You got to have that confidence in yourself to go forward. So.
Well, Chris, there it is. That's a tweetable for you to take out for the next when we're doing the editing.
I highly recommend you grab a copy of the 1 Hour Trainer book, a 90-day roadmap to creating a fitness business that you love and that is profitable, which is going to help you have more income, impact, and independence, which is going to lead you to the opportunity to living a lifestyle fitness business by design. We created this business book because we knew that it was about practice and theory that we're using in our business, not just talking about it. The industry is thriving right now, and if you want to build a business that's sustainable and scalable, you need to pick up a copy of the 1 Hour Trainer book now.
So let's talk about what's working right now for you, because a lot of people watching this I don't know where they're in their business. Some people, I know the number one thing that people struggle is with getting lead generation. And I know that it's the lifeblood of any business. What are you doing right now in 2020 that's working that you can share with this audience?
Well, so not putting all your eggs in one basket is really essential. We've not been doing too bad with leads. You know, again, connecting with the right people. You know, like I met a buddy of mine, Scott, I'll name drop Scott Rockcliffe, who he helps me with my Facebook marketing, advertising. He goes around and gives talks and stuff like that on Facebook marketing. And so he's really helped us generate leads whenever we do a different campaign. You got to put the money in. So I'm spending, you know, $50 to $75, but I don't even know how to run a Facebook ad myself. Not at all. I don't know how to do it. I don't want to know how to do it. That is not my wheelhouse. I'll go get somebody else to do that. I want to be sitting in front of somebody and giving them that one piece of information that might take them into an entirely different direction. I always say, like, 180-degree fitness, you could be just 1 degree away from an entirely new life. And I'm trying to create, you know, like Russell Brunson says, like the epiphany bridges, but those aha moments for my clients where I can see sometimes that light bulb goes off. But in terms of lead gen at this moment, I am diversifying and I am going back to basics. So I have a Facebook ad account. I don't do Instagram well. I hate it. I've actually kind of stopped doing that almost completely. It's just not something that I've hired a social media manager to get in there. There's some ads that go through, but man, I just can't get my head around that stuff. I don't do the TikTok thing. I don't know what that is, but I think it's an area I need to get into. So social media, there's Google AdWords. I'm paying for that. I haven't really played with the YouTube stuff. I've got lead boxes at my local GNCs, a little shop. So going back to basics, just like, you know, we went to a GNC store, and I knew one of the managers because I always buy supplements there. And I bought these really nice straw boxes. I got one here, actually. I'll show you. So see that big tall thing? It's just a lead
Yep.
box. So anyway, I bought 2 of those, and I went and bought $150 worth of supplements, put it in a basket, said, here, on this date, we're going to draw this. Whoever wants it, cold leads, but a different avenue. And then inside there, we've got a pamphlet, information on who we are, especially around the Christmas time. A lot of people are coming back, all those resolution people, and they're seeing, hey, free supplements. Nobody has any money, right after Christmas, early January. So we generated a good amount of leads, and we're following up on them. So I think that we got to remember the way we used to do things is also a way to generate leads. I've just signed up for 2 new expos that are coming up, women's expos. National Women's Expo that's coming up here, and then a smaller one. Now that with the book coming out, I'm looking to get my name out there more, so to speak and talk about like the benefits of what we do, and and drive traffic somewhere so that they can get something. So ethically bribe them for their contact information. Maybe it's an ebook. It doesn't have to be $150 worth of, XYZ. It can be, if there's new trainers listening to this, offer your services, offer 2 or 3 sessions. If you're really that hot shit, then people can get these 2 or 3 sessions for free, and then it's up to you to convert them, right? So, but yeah, like I think that we got to go back to basics at times too. Go into a grocery store, paying, maybe one of your trainers an extra $20, $30 to run around to every grocery store and put up some flyers. You never know where it's going to come from. I know I've generated over the years great clients from very, very interesting leads, different sources. So I never just put all my money into one basket, but I also allocate certain percentages. So I'm doing it a little smart as well. So, and then following up, like if you've been in the business like we have, we just implemented a brand new system with, you remember Brian Cackley? Small little guy? Brian?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. He's from Detroit. Small guy. He created some ebook stuff, but he's doing this go high level. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. So Go High Level is like an app thing where it integrates all of this information. So right now, we used to lose clients all the time through just different pipelines. There'd be a message come in from Instagram or Facebook or our newsletter, and it's all over the place. And then we don't really know who got assigned what. And we never really used Scipio either. So this Go High Level really integrates all of that. It brings all of those messaging in one platform. Now, again, I'm not a tech guy. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So that's where, because I've been diligent and applying this profit first system and putting money aside, I was able to hire Brian to implement this for us, set up our streamlines. And so far, I think in the last week or 2, we've generated over 100 leads. So, it's just, but then with proper follow-up. So we'll hit them with a text message, with a phone call, with an email, a follow-up, so now it's all in one place and I can assign it to different people. So, so really beneficial. And the same thing with the leads that we'll generate from GNC. We'll put those leads into our funnel, assign it to one of the managers, one of the trainers, and eventually we'll assign new clients that we sign on, accountability buddy partners, and have them almost kind of like help them come along. And it builds that community, builds what you were saying people stay for. They come for the results, they stay for the community. So, and that's definitely true here as well.
That's awesome. I love it because it's a great mix of new school, old school. I see so much online right now where everybody's promoting, I can get you 20, 30 clients every single month on autopilot. I can run this Facebook magic funnel for you and get you to 7 figures in 7 days without doing any work. And I love that you're saying that because we're from an old school. Now, I can tell you, I haven't put a lead box out in a really, really long time. But here's the thing. I mean, I still do live events. I still believe that me getting in front, you're writing a book. I wrote a book because I understood that if I wanted to be the leading authority in my area for my specific niche, writing a book says, hey, look what I've written and did the research to do, which allows me to say, hey, I know something about this topic. Really powerful what you've done there. I'd like to touch a little bit about because I see all the testimonials and I'm really big on that as well behind you. And I know that you ran The Biggest Loser. I'm not sure if that's what you still have going on, but can you share with us a little bit about that? Because I think 2020 right now, like, and it's something I got from my buddy Vince Gabriel. He runs sweepstakes. Okay. And I don't know if you, but I'm going to be, I basically heard his idea. I'm going to adapt it to something I like and do it kind of take some of your information that you've done with your Biggest Loser. I love it. I love the idea.
What's it called? Sweepstakes?
Yeah, it's just a sweepstakes. Like, he basically runs a sweepstakes where he gives away a really high level, like either a 6, 8, or 12-week core program. But it's a great lead generator. And the cool thing about it is that the person who wins, usually 4 people, but you do an application process.
Gotcha.
And through this application process, you're going to get 3 buckets of leads. You're going to get the 4 winners. You're going to get some hot ones that are ready. And then you're going to get the ones that are not qualified specifically or ready right now, but you can put them in your follow-up process and go about your business. But I love what you're giving for a full year, keeping weight off. You're giving rewards. You're rewarding your clients. You're getting tons of testimonials. I've looked at you do this for years and thought, you know what? I need him to tell us a little bit about your Biggest Loser process and how you go about running it.
Yeah. So yeah, we've totally been ripping off that name. So, yeah, so it's our transformation system. And for years, I've been doing a 12-week program. And now I'm entering into an area that is going to be a little bit more bold. I'm taking a bold step forward. And from mastermind groups, what are they? They're always pitching, do the 7-day, 21-day, 30-day, small, lead in, get them in, get them hooked on the juice, and then convert them, right? And that's standard. Yeah. And I still do that, like 6-week challenges here and there. And then, I remember when I came up with this 12-week out challenge, and it was actually another gym that had went out of business that was running it here before. And I knew the owner, and I said, hey, you think I could take this over? I think I could work with it. And he's like, yeah, sure. He actually ended up becoming one of my sales managers a couple of years later afterward. But he was running something where he was incorporating personal training and all of this. But I used it as a platform to really kind of educate and coach more, to dabble with the mindset, but to take nutrition a little deeper, to get a bigger buy-in, to create that pinnacle product. And we did really great, but I'm now shifting gears. I converted from a 12-week, and then I created phase 2 because I found we just had too much information that we wanted to teach them. We went from a Biggest Loser to a game changer to a phase 3 to all 3 combined. And I feel like the program, because we made so much emphasis on these first 12 weeks, that we were leading people down into this all or nothing mentality. And as I sit here, yeah, I'm surrounded by before and afters, and I've it's all over my walls here. It's really motivating to walk into, but I'm actually demotivated now because I really wish I could say that all these people kept the weight off, and they didn't. And I like that. So now, in order to get into our Biggest Loser program, we're only taking on a full year client. So, but even more so, and like this in mastermind groups, I pay $20,000 to $25,000 a year for high level coaching. Been doing it for years, right? And that stings the wallet. That's not easy, it's something that you take it's a tough pill to swallow sometimes. But then what happens is that whatever the hell my coach is going to tell me to do, I'm going to do, and I'm going to dig into it. I'm going to go the extra mile. And so a lot of people say, people who pay, they pay attention. Now, before I used to run, it was a group training program, 12 weeks, Biggest Loser for $1,000, $997. I thought, oh my God, nobody's going to pay that. And so we would get people in, and we ran it for 3 times. I ran 23 Biggest Loser programs. These are 3-month programs, 23 in our span. And the first 3, we only charged $1,000 each. And what I was finding is we were getting about maybe 300-pound weight loss, 400. It wasn't anything great. A lot of people would sort of come to the workshop, sort of wouldn't take things super seriously. And then Cable, you remember Cable McElderry?
Yes, absolutely.
Cable. Mm-hmm. So Cable suggested at the time when I was with Bedros' group, he said, oh, why don't you just double the rate? Your stuff is good, just double it. And at first, a lot of people didn't even want me to yeah, I know, oh, that's tough. Well, at first, people didn't even want me to do a 12-week program. They're like, whoa, 12 weeks, too much. So I said, okay, screw it. I'm going to double it. going for it, $2,000. And we went for it, and man, people just bought in. They kept buying in, kept selling out. And then from there, I went from a $2,000 program to a $2,400 program to, with phase 2 involved, after we created all the content, we were charging $3,500. And then I applied Robert Cialdini's approach with, influence to create a decoy price. So the decoy was the second part. So it was $2,400, $3,500 for 6 months, or $3,900 for a year. So it's like, well, why would I want to do 6 months when it's only an extra $500? I get a full year. Of course, that's what we want, right? So anyway, and that was working for a little bit, and now, but because we hit such a big finale after the first section of the first phase, I found that a lot of people, it was hard to bring them through phase 2 and 3 because they would just lose it. They would go back to their old ways. They wouldn't take things seriously, despite sometimes spending $4,000 for a year. And that's not even that much, but we're talking group training here, not personal.
Yep.
So now, as of right now, I am now relaunching our Biggest Loser program, and the rate to get in for the full year is $12,000. All right, and it's $10,000 on a buy-in, paid in full, and with the whole idea of people who pay, they pay attention. And the thing is, the nice thing is, when you're up here, you can always go down. There's lots of other options. So I'm only looking to take 10 people on, 10 very serious people, but that's kind of the pricing structure. And anybody who brings someone else in, I'm allowing them to come in at 50% of the price. So it'd be $18,000 if they wanted to break it monthly, but a $2,000 buy-in minimum deposit to secure their spot, non-refundable. Like, I'm only taking people that are serious. So I'm kind of bucking the trend. And now I could easily run a $2,000 12-week program and get 20 or 30 people in. No problem. I could do that. So I'm kind of risking this, and I'm a little nervous with it, but I think it's going to work, So, but if you don't keep leading from the front and keep pushing the boundaries and keep going, and with the book, it's going to establish the credibility and get it out there. You don't and for me to walk in here and see all these people putting the weight back on, I'm done with it. So, and instead of handing out $1,500 to a person that can keep a certain percentage off for a year, I want to give them a full year for free. So, because my feeling is, and what I know from science, is that I always had this belief that we become a brand new person every 7 to 10 years based on cell regeneration, apoptosis, cell growth, just our own mindset and how we shift and change as an individual. So if we become a brand new person every 7 to 10 years, if I can get someone for 2 years and influence them, headspace, fitness, nutrition, and they're all in, I know I have a better chance of changing that person's identity. And I think that will get them long-lasting results, and that's what I'm after. That's what everyone's after, but they just want that quick fix. So, and those people who want the quick fix, you can go somewhere else, give someone else your money. So, but yeah, so that's where I am right now. It's a little stressful because we just started launching it. So I'll let you know how it goes. You'll see.
Dude, I love it. I think that is so, like, you are literally leading from the front for the industry in the fit game. And when because like, there are a lot of people that don't believe you can charge those types of investments and get people to invest in their health. Now, I know they can. Well, I can tell you, if you're on it and you're a smart dude, you're everything that you just mentioned. I'm going to pull out a few just because it may go over. You mentioned Robert Cialdini and understanding the 6 triggers of influence. Critical book for anybody who's in fitness business, because if you're in business, you need to understand how to write a persuasive message that's going to allow someone to say, hey, not only raise their hand, but then lean in.
Yeah.
And then take action. So I love that you mentioned that.
You don't have to write it. You can get somebody else to do the writing, right?
I agree. But one of my firm beliefs is, like, I don't hire out until I have an understanding myself. Sure, so you can never take me to the bank.
No, for sure. You need to know what they're doing so it can kind of make sense. But yeah, like I've hired sales copywriters and people that I've met, and because you can't do it all. Like, there's so much, right? And it can become so overwhelming, especially for someone new. So that's the whole unique ability with Strategic Coach. It's like, just don't work on your weaknesses. Just do what you're really good at and super passionate about and you lose yourself with. Like, I just want to be in a dark room, come up with a shit ton of ideas, read a bunch of books, and then spread the message to everybody, like that's all I want to do. I don't want to go out there and show someone how to do a squat. I'm done with that. I don't want to do that anymore. I haven't for years. Not that I don't love it, still enjoy it. I do it myself. I train hard, and I'm about to turn 40, and I'm doing a photo shoot March 5th, the day before my birthday. So I'm leaning out right now. So that's why I may look a little skinnier. But I want to get down to sub 6%, and I announce that to my clients and go, here, watch me do it. All these other things I own on, I'll still do it. So. But yeah, you just got to find what you're passionate about, what you can do well, and if you can outsource everything else, do that as fast as you can. But yeah, no, you got to have, like, for me, I've read all Cialdini's books. I know all that. I don't know real well, but I know I have an understanding. But yeah, for me to sit behind a computer and do the book thing is tough. Every morning at 6 a.m. I'm like, oh God, I hate this stuff. But it's close. I'm so close. So
awesome. Well, I can't wait till you get it out. I'll definitely make sure to help promote it, share it. I think that it's a cool thing to see your evolution and getting your message out there. That's what I talk about, your $1 million message. And it's not just a elevator pitch. It's what you believe in, what you stand for. And I can see the passion in you just in talking about your business, talking about your clients, and what you invest in yourself. I totally agree with you. Like, outsourcing is critical to your growth. Like, one of the biggest things that I think that a lot of trainers, gym owners, personal trainers forget is that as they're going through the evolutionary process of building a business, they must become a leader, and then a leader of people, not just their clients, but themselves. You're walking the walk. Like, I announce a lot of challenges to my clients as well, because they need to know, hey, I'm still in the game. Last year I did, Craig, I did 4 workouts a week for the entire year. Wound up with 214. This year I wanted to make sure I knocked out 20,000 push-ups and 1,200 miles on my bike. So, like, these are just.
You were biking when I was down there. You said we were trying to connect there. And you're saying, no, I got to go for a bike ride. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I have a race Saturday, a 60-miler Saturday that I'll be doing. Training for a Century, which is a 100-miler, which is that's like 7 to 8 hours on a bike in one day.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm built for endurance, but yeah, to highlight on that point too, the becoming a leader. As I'm getting older, I get a lot of value in seeing even my coaches succeeding and doing well. Like my head coach here, fantastic guy. He just went out, bought a house with his girl, got a brand new car this year, gave her a diamond ring, all this stuff. And I'm like, fuck, how is this guy affording this? Am I paying him to do this? But like, to seeing them succeed and them to grow as well. I think that, it stands as a testament. Even another manager of mine who's not with us anymore, I'm still very good friends with him, but he went on to start his own business, not in the fitness space, but like some other thing. And he's doing exceptionally well. And I'm like, wow, I feel like I had a part in his development and growth. And I think that, you only get that with time and age. And, I started off by saying, you don't want to trust too many people, but, there's a lot of people that you can really help grow and you can get a lot of benefit out of not only seeing your clients lose a bunch of weight, become different people, but also, providing opportunities for people to shine in doing something that they love. It's, I don't think that there's really anything better than that. And it gives you that, the warm and fuzzies, but I think that there's a lot of benefit to all of that. So you do have to trust. But yeah, I've been noticing that more and more with some of the people that we've got around. So yeah,
awesome. Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. It's like I always tell any trainer that's going to work or become on my team, if you ever want to go out and get into the game, let me know. Yeah. I'll help you. I'll assist you. I'll give you all the goods. I'm not going to hide anything from you. All I ask you to do is not to be a scorpion and try to steal from me. Yeah. That's the biggest thing, and I've seen and helped a couple of my coaches go on to start businesses. One of them actually did some creepy shit like they always do. You can't protect against it fully because people are people, but It never allows me to change who I am as a person and a giver, because I know that the more people out there doing this great work and making an impact, the world is being impacted through health and fitness and mindset. So,
No,
dude, I really go ahead.
So many small businesses too, right? Like the small businesses out there, I think we really need to help each other. Ultimately, get helping each other out because there's so many the big box clubs. Like when I hear of a competitor, like I don't follow any of them. If I notice the competitors in the market are close to me, I'll block and delete them because I don't want to see what they're doing. I just want to focus on my stuff. But I don't. I'm not scared of it like I used to be. I used to have this, oh, how dare they come in my space to try and take my clients? Like, no, like if anything, the more of us that are out there, the better chance we've got to actually, sorry, I just want to say, yeah, sorry. That's my physio upstairs. But yeah, the better chance we got to make it. I think that collaboration is something that we need to not fear. It's as long as we're if we're in the same game together, like there's more than enough to go around. There's more, and people right now are out in different places, big clubs, and they don't even know that we exist. So, and it might take a competitor of yours to influence that person to bring them out of that place so they can experience the same kind of thing that we offer, and then eventually maybe find you, or better their lives. So, yeah.
Absolutely, man. I totally agree with you. So my final question for you is what I call your 60-second value boom. Not bomb, boom.
Boom.
And it's all about, I want you to, if this is specifically for the gym owner, someone who is building a business like you. What's that value boom you can give them and say, hey, here's something that if you start to do it, and you've given so much already. So if you have to reiterate something, absolutely do. But what's that one thing that makes Adrian go, boom, I love talking about this topic, and this is what helped me, and this is what can help you?
One big boom, I would say. I think maybe it's something that we went on is just, I think believe in yourself. Ultimately, follow your heart, follow your passions while you're in this industry to begin with. Like you were saying, don't fake it to make it. You see a lot of these fake people out there. Embrace the struggle and know why you got into this thing in the first place, and that as long as you are all in on yourself in terms of betting on yourself and have that passion to follow through and go for it, you'll be able to muster up that courage to weather the storms, because there's going to be storms. But always remember, never forget why you got into the industry to begin with, because there's been lots of times, 13 years, that I've questioned myself, going, what am I doing? Where am I? But it's like I go back to building better people is the reason for existing. And if at the end of my life I can look back and say, the world's a little bit better because I existed here and I've made a little impact in some people's lives, then I think I've done the world a good job. I've done well with it. So, and I think that if we all did that, we'd all be in a better place. So, and I think, trainers and coaches and people in the fitness industry and health industry, or the preventative healthcare industry, that this proactive industry we're in, I think that we've got our finger on the pulse, and we can prevent a lot of hardship coming down the line for a lot of people. So don't forget why you got into it in the first place, and believe in have your true values push you through the tough stuff. So that's my big boom. So if it's
awesome, brother.
No.
It definitely was. I mean, I think it just sums up this entire interview. You've been talking about mindset and the importance of mindset, whether it's in your fitness journey or your business journey. But the key is believing in yourself, being willing to invest in yourself, expand. It's why one of the things that I believe in is Kaizen, and I named my mastermind after it, because we have to constantly and always be growing and expanding. And that's both physically, mentally, and emotionally. So thank you, Adrian, for your time today, brother. I really do appreciate you. Where can if someone wants to reach out to you when you get your booking and they want to get some of the goods that you can share, where is the best place to connect with you?
Well, eventually our membership site, which hasn't been launched yet, but for now, Facebook, that's where I usually am. You know, I check it almost daily. So just facebook.com/Adrian.Delorey or 180fitness.ca. So that's where you'll be able to, everything will come from that.
Awesome, brother.
All
Well,
right.
thank you guys. This has been another monthly FitPro interview series. I'm Coach Roz from fitnessbusinessmastery.com, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Boom!
What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for watching my video here on YouTube. If you enjoyed the content and you want more content on building a fitness business that you love, here's what I want you to do. Make sure you subscribe, leave your questions and comments below this video, and if you really liked it, share it with your friends. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Make it a great day. Boom! I'm out.